Okay, Dr. Lamba, welcome. I'm Surindher Sharma.
Nice
And
meeting you.
I have been requested by Bharat Marg to have a chat with you on the recent private resolution on the 1984 riots which happened in Delhi and the way it was worded and all, particularly the Indo Canadian community has been very much hurt and upset the way a few members of the Ontario legislature they put the resolution. So we wanted to have your views. What do you think? Because we had a chat with Honorable Patrick Brown and also Premier Kathleen Wayne recently, and they want us to come back and meet them. But this has really hurt the sentiments of the Indian community. So what is your take on that?
Surinder, let's be very clear. This resolution is badly conceived. It's a result of hatred and basically constitutes a hate crime. It is based on wrong thoughts, it's based on wrong deductions. And legally and constitutionally, it is invalid. Now let me come to two things. A, this deals with a foreign country, and India and Canada have an agreement not to interfere in the internal affairs of each other.
Yeah.
What happened in 84 was an internal matter of India, law and order. USA or Canada or any other country has no right to interfere in that. Secondly, if they had to interfere, it's a federal matter, it comes under the foreign affairs, global affairs as the new ministry is called, and it should have been left to the federal government to do it and not to the provincial government. Thirdly, how would anybody feel if Indian Parliament passes a resolution about the misstatement of the indigenous people here in Canada or in Ontario? If that is unacceptable, this is unacceptable. Now, I was also perturbed when I read the resolution. They said it's genocide. Under the Geneva Convention, it's not a genocide.
Correct. That's a big concern actually they have.
It's not a genocide, it's a right.
The resolution could have been worded nicely. All the Indo Canadians, all the Hindus across India are sympathetic towards that, and they were very upset, and nobody at all, everybody will strongly condemn such things.
I fully agree with you. Nobody can say that that killing was justified. Nobody can say that it should have happened. It must not have happened.
Yeah, it was.
But to blame the government is bad. If the person is to be blamed, now legally again in India, who was the head of the state at that time?
Gyani Zail Singh.
He was the president.
He was the commander in chief of the...
And no, not only that. The Prime Minister died at 10 in the morning. The new Prime Minister was sworn in at 3 in the afternoon. So between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. there was no Prime Minister.
No Prime Minister.
As such, the whole responsibility was of Gyani Zail Singh, and he should have been prosecuted. Secondly, if somebody is to be prosecuted, it is Rajiv Gandhi.
Yes.
Because he said when a big tree falls, the earth shakes.
True.
Thirdly, if somebody is to be prosecuted, it should be the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi.
Yes.
And the Commissioner of Police Delhi.
True.
But not anybody else, or the people who were arrested. Now the point is, how can you blame the state government, because they were not the government, in case army or the police or the paramilitary forces had been ordered to kill Sikhs?
Yes.
It would be genocide.
Genocide. True.
Secondly, genocide means at least 1/3 of the population should be killed.
Yeah.
Even if I accept that 4,000 people were killed, the population of Delhi of Sikh is more than 1 crore.
Yes.
So it's not a genocide from that point of view. So neither from the point of view of calculation, not from the point of view of the responsibility can it be called a genocide. And this action of a few people who are anti-India, they're the proponents of activity which is in fact a terrorist activity.
Yes.
And action should be taken against those people who promoted that resolution rather than having it passed.
Yes. No, I fully agree with you. And I think this need to be reversed. Maybe in the next assembly, next legislature, they have to take it up again.
You see,
possibly.
Surindher, again, let's come to the legal. When a resolution is passed, it cannot be withdrawn. But another resolution can be passed saying that that resolution was based on wrong
information,
and hence it should be rescinded.
Yeah.
It cannot be withdrawn, but it can be rescinded. And that can easily be done. It's not a difficult thing to do.
Okay. I think that could be a better resolution. And also the Canadian government should look into the sentiments of the Indo Canadians across the board rather than going with few MPPs who are
they have their
ill-informed.
They are their extogrand. They are catering to a certain vote bank. And they are catering to certain forces which are against the unity and integrity of India.
Yes.
In that process, in case they harm Canadian interests, they don't mind it. They were the people who were responsible for Krishka explosion.
Mm-hmm.
They are the people who are responsible for infiltrating. Now imagine, who talks of Khalistan in Punjab? Nobody. It's only here, either in Brampton or in Vancouver. Nowhere else you heard the word Khalistan. Thirdly, it's a blatant interference in the affairs of India, which cannot be permitted by any government. And I think it's magnanimous and good of the government of India that they regarded this resolution with the contempt it deserves. They ignored it. As a matter of fact, what should have happened is that all the people who voted in favor of that resolution should be declared or put on the no-fly list and should not be permitted to enter.
That will be quite a,
why? If Modi could be put on the no-fly list for not having done anything, why not these people?
No, I think most of the Indo Canadians are not wanting to
Agree.
get into all this.
As I'm saying, only these people, 13 people.
We are in fact wanting that we should, with a weapon of love, win them over.
Agree.
We want them all to be in the mainstream.
The point is everybody is in the
India has been their motherland, and they have to respect for that.
I fully appreciate what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. The people who have passed the resolution, they are not aware of what the situation there is.
Yeah.
They should be asked to undergo a refresher course in the tradition and culture of India.
Culture of India.
We do not in India indulge in genocide. We expect it and gave refuge to the Zoroastrians,
Yes.
to the Jews, to the Muslims, Bangladesh and Afghan, to all the countries of the world and all the countries of the world we are given. How can we kill our own people? And those people who are the strong arm of the Indian Defence Services.
Of course. The Sikhs are always considered to be the most loyal, most brave
people of India. So how can anybody go and think even of killing them?
Absolutely.
And then imagine at that time when this thing happened, a Sikh was the president of India. Don't forget that.
And later on, the Sikh was the prime minister for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. It's not a
we
small
had an
period.
Air Chief Marshal who was a Sikh, and now we have the Air Chief who is a Sikh again.
Yeah, who's laid to rest yesterday.
That's right.
Marshal Arjun Singh, who was honored the highest.
He was the Air Chief Marshal.
Air Chief Marshal. Okay, Lamba Sahib, thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.